Okay, everybody, grab your Tanis leaves because we're talking about Rosemary's Baby, the classic 1968 psychological horror film, newly released on 4K from Paramount. And I've got some thoughts, so let's chat. What's going on, my friends? Welcome again to the COBWEBs channel. My name is Daniel, and yeah, I just had the chance to check out Rosemary's Baby on 4K. You can see the newly commissioned slipcover art right here. More on this later. And then when you slip that off, you can see the original poster art from 1968, that classic poster art that I just love to see. Now, my history with this movie, I had only seen this film once before, years ago, and it was actually on DVD. This is actually the last time that I bought this movie. The first time was on DVD. This was actually released on Criterion Blu-ray previously, but I believe it's been out of print for quite some time, and I never ended up buying that. So when it came out in 4K, I just thought it seemed like the perfect time to get this classic movie that I remembered loving on a much better format than this DVD. Yeah, I do remember loving this film when I first saw it, and after watching it again, I have to say I agree with my past self. This is indeed a fantastic movie. This film is about Mia Farrow as Rosemary. Her and her husband, played by John Cassavetes, are trying to have a baby. They end up getting pregnant, which Rosemary is incredibly happy about. They're both happy about. And they start getting close with their neighbors, their elderly neighbors, who start luring them more and more into their lives and exposing them to more of their friends. The neighbors get their doctor, who's played by Ralph Bellamy, to be her doctor. And Rosemary just starts to suspect that something is going on with these neighbors and possibly with her husband, and they might be a coven of witches, and they might want her baby. Yeah, it's a classic story. I think everybody knows generally what Rosemary's Baby is about. Something that I love about Rosemary's Baby is it was produced by William Castle, and I love William Castle. He made tons of schlocky but super fun horror films, predominantly in the 50s and 60s, like The Tingler and House on Haunted Hill and Mr. Sardonicus. I love these films, and he actually bought the rights to the book of Rosemary's Baby. Really wanted to direct it. The studio wouldn't let him do it. They didn't think he was the right guy, and that's certainly understandable. As much as I love William Castle, he would not have made the sort of artistic film that we get here with Rosemary's Baby, and it is a very beautiful artistic film. I do absolutely love the score and the central theme. The theme is so chilling to me. It sounds like a lullaby, but it's so creepy, this creepy baby lullaby, which is just perfect for this movie. And it's a really beautiful film, tons of great actors. Like, I like seeing classic actors show up in this, like Ralph Bellamy, like Ruth Gordon. I think my favorite performance in this movie is from Sidney Blackmer, who plays the patriarch of the neighbors, Roman. He has so much charisma. I just really am just glued to the screen anytime he's there. And I find this movie very scary, very unsettling. First of all, it's just a stressful movie because you're so on Mia Farrow's side. She just seems like so delicate and fragile, and you just want her to be okay. You don't want anything bad to happen to her. It's a very charming and very sympathetic performance. And you know that she's right about this. You know something weird is going on with these neighbors, with her husband too. And it just sucks to see somebody in such a terrible situation like she is in just be denied so much autonomy. It's just kind of scary in this time period how a traditional wife who doesn't have any income stream of her own, who is pregnant, just has so little personal autonomy and is really at the mercy of her husband and the people around her and what their whims are. And it's just a pretty scary situation that she is in. And then by the end, I find this movie so intense and really creepy and really unsettling. I absolutely love the ending of this movie. I'm not exactly going to spoil it, although I think everybody pretty much knows what the ending of this movie is. But I love how complicated it is and how the love of a mother is so overpowering in the face of really anything. And I'm just fascinated by Mia Farrow's expressions in the last shot and her choice. The character's choice at the end of this movie is so fascinating, but so believable because you have seen this character just be so consumed with the idea of motherhood, and that's all she wants, and it's the most important thing in the world to her. And then to be presented with what she's presented with at the end, I completely believe her choice, but I'm so chilled and disturbed by it at the same time. Now, one question I had to address in this video that viewers of my channel will probably know I had to talk about is this a witch movie? Because I faced a lot of controversy on this channel because I did a video on my top 15 classic witch films. Rosemary's Baby was not on it, and a lot of people were upset about that in the comments. And I will tell you, the reason is, from my one viewing of this film years ago, my memory was that this is a film of a satanic cult, about devil worshippers, a satanic cult, which is technically true. And I don't necessarily think that a satanic cult is necessarily the same thing as a coven of witches. And I know I'm splitting hairs of horror genres, kind of like real life religions too, honestly. I never considered this for my top 15 witch list because I thought it's a satanic cult movie and that's all. I was wrong. Now that I see it, it is a witch movie. It is about a coven of witches. It functions more like a satanic cult movie than a witch movie, I think. It feels much more like a cult film than it does a witch film, but it is a coven of witches, so I was wrong, and I publicly apologize on this channel. The Rosemary's Baby was not on my list. It was an innocent mistake. I hadn't seen it in years. I didn't remember that it qualified. So I think this is a fantastic movie. If you've not seen Rosemary's Baby, my gosh, it's just one of the great classic horror films. Certainly one of the top satanic horror films ever made. And checking it out on 4K is probably the perfect time. Really glad I was able to pick this up for such a great price. This 4K is only going for $19.99 right now, and that's just great for a brand new 4K. It comes with the 4K, it comes with a Blu-ray disc as well, which the special features are on, and it comes with a digital copy. As far as special features, you've got a retrospective on the film Rosemary's Baby. It's about 16 minutes long. You've got a retrospective on Mia Farrow and director Roman Polanski, and that's about 23 minutes long. Both of those appear to be pretty old special features, so I don't think they did anything new for this. And then you get a theatrical trailer, and you get a red band trailer, which is like, okay, whatever. I don't know, whatever, man. No commentary, nothing like that on here. I would say if you have the Criterion disc, that's probably fine. Criterion Blu-rays look great, although I don't have that, so I can't tell you for sure. But I can tell you the 4K looks terrific. I only had one weird hiccup with it. Towards the beginning of the movie, I was watching it and I realized that the mouths were off. The sound was off, and the talking was not matching up with the characters' mouths. And maybe you could say it's my player, but I've never experienced that with a disc ever in my entire life. And I was pretty worried that I had gotten a defective disc. But I stopped it, I restarted it, and the sound was on track then, and it never went off again. So I don't know what was going on with that. I'm not thrilled that my viewing of what was supposed to be a pristine viewing of this movie, the best home video has to offer, was interrupted by that weird technical difficulty. I feel like if you fork out $4K for a 4K, it should be perfect, but I don't really know what was going on there. Just letting you know my experience. Now, as far as the packaging, yeah, it's got this slipcover, which I think is absolutely abysmal. This slipcover is horrible. It's just such a simplistic design. Now, I get it. The black is Rosemary. She's pregnant, and the green is the devil, and he's biting into her baby bump, infecting it. I understand, I get it, but it's so basic and simplistic. It's just the two flat colors. I don't care for it at all. And you just can't beat the original poster art. That is so iconic. It's so classic. And I would have loved to have a slipcover that just looked like that. Now, I'm happy that we do get the original poster art, that this isn't that other image. Let me see if it's reversible. It's not reversible. I was just curious. And I haven't been able to bring myself to throw this away yet. I kind of want to, but I am a slipcover guy. I do love slipcovers, and I don't know, that just kind of pains me. So I haven't made that decision yet, but I can tell you, I think this looks so much better than this. So that was a disappointment. And that's one reason I'm glad this was only $20. This wasn't some $30 4K. I don't think I would have forked out that money, honestly. But I'm happy to have this movie in a pristine format. It looks absolutely beautiful. And that's my thoughts, folks, on the Rosemary's Baby 4K. I love this movie. Highly recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out my last video where I talked about my top scariest movie experiences. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a ton of fun. Also on the screen, I'm going to put up a playlist for all of my Blu-ray collection videos. You can check those out on the channel. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more videos like this. With all that said, don't forget to enjoy yourself today, have some fun, and I'll see you next time.